Welcome. You are now invited to join
the common clay of the New West. The common clay, the common clay, the common clay of the New West. Morons.
Hi guys.
Hi.
Just to let you know, this is recorded a week before because we can't do it this week and we're very good at planning these days. So
Well, why can't we do it next week?
Owen is in Italy.
Oh, he's such a prick.
He's not in Italy, he's in France.
Oh, he's in France. Oh, it was Italy last week, France this week.
Yeah.
Are you paying him to do our audio engineering? Because I'm not getting paid shit. And he's travelling around all these different places.
I give Owen all the money. Yeah.
He's a good get, though, to be fair.
Yeah, it's worth it.
Yeah.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah. Anyway, so this week is going to be a bit like 2 weeks ago for you, listeners, where we just asked for your questions and you gave us some questions and we're going to answer them for you. Well, we're not going to answer any of them, but
We're going to
Just chat shit.
We're going to chat shit.
yeah.
Go.
Okay, first one is, what is the best thing about your country?
Wales. Start off, probably the flag,
Yeah. That's a good
the
sick-
anthem. We had
sick
by far the best national anthem.
Yeah. What I
Best,
find about a lot of people's national anthems, they're always really weird and I suppose they're all obviously written ages ago, but none of them are like bangers.
no, literally the Wales one's good, France one's good,
France is good,
and the
yeah.
Scottish one's good, and that's
Yeah.
it.
I suppose we only really get exposure to probably like sporting nations, like European, you know.
Yeah.
I only ever hear a national anthem when I'm watching football or rugby.
Yeah.
So realistically, I'm not really familiar with the Kenyan national anthem because they don't often compete in the Six Nations or...
Yeah, it's true.
So they might have a fucking awesome...
Yeah, but I watch a lot of the World Cup and I listen to a lot of the anthems. I was like, these are all boring and dull.
yeah.
That's a good one, man.
Yeah, they should get like DJ Khaled in to produce one. Just do a
Pitbull.
Pitbull, yeah. Just remarket your nation,
Mr. Worldwide.
Yeah, DJ Khaled presents the Kenyan national
Little
anthem.
John in there. What? I listened to Usher on the way here, not on purpose. Just came on the radio, and I was like, "Why is he still doing music?"
That was the
like?
thing.
What's
That
that
was the
about?
thing.
Usher, like.
My favourite thing about Wales is that's where my parents live and my friends live. Sick flag.
Sick flag, sick country, like Cardiff. Like, do you mean it's not? It's small and quiet enough. Do you mean it's not like bustling, heaving
Yeah.
all the day, every day? It's just like 30-odd thousand people. Nice.
Everyone I ever speak to about Cardiff, they always go, yeah, it's great nightlife, great shopping, and there's like some parks. And I'm like, yeah, what more do you want from the city?
Yeah, exactly.
Maybe a little bit of industry, some jobs would be good. Yeah. Like, do you want to work in a pub or a shop? No,
Yeah.
not really.
Sorry.
Maybe we should go elsewhere.
Yeah, call a Cider.
Yeah, call us
Yeah.
out. But that's my favourite thing.
That is one. Yeah, Cardiff is one of the best things about Wales. The language, I guess, is alright, but I don't speak it.
No, that's beautiful.
John does quite well. He's kind of like...
He's made a conscious effort to learn as much as he can.
Yeah, he does good. But, I don't know, thanks for the question.
Yeah.
Everything in the world.
In the country.
In the country.
Everything in the country is my
Apart
favourite
from
thing
the
in the
north.
country.
Don't like that. I always thought gogs was like a derogatory term, but it's just not. That's just what they're called.
Oh, I thought it was a derogatory
Yeah,
term as well.
it's not. Yeah.
So for the listeners,
Oh, yeah, true, yeah.
people in North Wales are referred to as gogs.
Yeah.
I'm sure it's a
And
derogatory
I thought
term.
we were like, yeah, we call them gogs, but no, I think that's what they are.
Where have you heard this from? Because this could be a really inflammatory piece that we're doing. Yeah.
I'm going to say something very... People from North Wales are socially different to us. Like, they're not socially...
They did grow up differently.
They did grow up
It's a
differently.
lot
There's no
more rural.
phone. There's only one phone.
In North Wales?
Yeah, there's no buses. No buses. And that's it.
That's extremely inflammatory.
Yeah. But they're weird.
Um,
I'm going to put it out there.
yeah, it's
Beautiful part of the country, though.
Yeah, it's just a lot more rural than South Wales.
Yeah,
but even
yeah.
South Wales is a lot more rural than...
They talk like this.
They do talk funny. But we talk funny
We
to
do
other
talk
people.
funny. We do talk funny. We do talk funny. No, I like North Wales. I've never been.
Why are you winking at me? I've never been.
I have been. I'm joking. Been to Snowdon. They have the zip line now in the cave, though, don't they? Fair play.
No, not in a cave. It's
No, they have a zip line and a cave, like a trampoline cave.
oh,
don't
they've
they?
now got a cave.
A trampoline cave. Yeah.
We've upgraded North Wales. We now have a cave. And a wire.
Where all they?
What's your favourite thing about this country? Well, listen to all the things I don't like about it.
You've got a what?
Yeah, apparently that's the zip wire. Well, I think we talked about it before. It's one of the longest or the tallest or
Fastest.
the wiriest.
Yeah.
The wiriest wire in North Wales.
Yeah. Oh, that's brilliant. No, that's alright. Fair play. Real though. Oh.
It's alright. But this place.
Yeah. Sorry, next question before I say something I'll regret.
What film do you regret watching and why?
I got a good one for this.
Okay.
Me and my friend of the podcast, Manuel.
He never listens. He's not a friend of the podcast.
He's a friend
at all.
of the people who are in the podcast.
Right.
We used to have a flat in Cardiff together, and we thought it'd be funny to watch Passion of the Christ. Like I thought, oh, this would be funny.
I bet it wasn't funny.
It's not funny at all. It's really sad, and like I don't like I was saying before, we're very desensitized to things. But I was just like, this is grim. This is depressing.
Just religious propaganda, isn't it?
Yeah,
Isn't it very anti-Semitic as well?
very. All the Jewish people have massive noses, and they're all really ugly. It's very obvious. It's not even subtle. It's like, oh, Mel.
Ooh.
Mel Gibson. Ugh.
But they smashed it in the box office, and some people in the States loved it. Just big religious divide.
Yeah, it's gross. It's literally like disgusting. It's like torture porn. It's like if it wasn't Jesus in it, it'd just be like another Saw film, but really realistic and dark and horrible. So yeah, I regret watching that. I thought it was gonna be like, this is mad, like, but it was actually like, this is horrible.
Just you and Manuel watched it. It got really flat and just went to bed and just turned the lights off.
Pretty much.
Didn't say a word to each other.
Yeah. Trying to think of other bad films. You got any?
I haven't been thinking. I've just been listening to yours.
There's ones like a Human Centipede and that, which I've never actually seen.
Oh, I watched the first one. Yeah, it's good though. I like weird, dark films.
Have you ever heard, or I'm sure you probably heard of it, a Serbian film?
It's called a Serbian film. No.
Yeah. Go on Wikipedia when you're home, and everyone I don't encourage, I discourage you to read the synopsis of that film. You'll never want to watch it.
Really?
It's I don't think we can even really say what it's about.
Well, I really want.
It's a bit like, do you remember the game Manhunt, where it was like a film where there was a guy and he would go around and there'd be someone telling him to do stuff.
Yeah,
it's a bit like that, but less murder and more like bad stuff.
I've got a little synopsis here.
Yeah.
An aging porn star who's struggling to provide for his family agrees to make a film that, unbeknown to him, contains themes of paedophilia, necrophilia, and may end with his death. Yeah, I'm not going to watch that. I am not going to watch that. I remember that Manhunt game, because they banned it in like Australia.
Manhunt 2 got banned.
Oh, Manhunt 2. That was the one that I had, yeah.
It was in a hospital, that one was.
Oh, maybe.
Manhunt 1 was like a guy in a blue boiler suit. That's probably the one you had with PS2.
Yeah.
It might have been banned in Australia. They banned pretty much everything out there.
Yeah, I think it was banned in Australia and like one other kind of non-European country.
But Manhunt 2 was banned pretty much worldwide.
Really?
Yeah.
Shit. I want to play that game.
Yeah. It's on Wii. It's the only platform you get it on is on Wii. Yeah.
And it's like a tutorial of how to murder.
Yeah.
Let's make this really engrossing and make it... no, so I got that Manhunt game on Christmas for Christmas from my brother, and because we both heard that it was like really dark and really messy, and he really wanted to play it, so he got it for me. And sat down Christmas morning, and I was like all full of joy and promise for the new year and celebrating the birth of baby Jesus. And like the first mission was, you got like an earpiece. Yeah. And you're I don't know, is it? I think it's third person.
Yeah, it is third person,
So you're controlling this guy, and it's like, right.
It's like a stealth game, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, yeah. And you've got this earpiece, and the narrator's going, right, hide in this. So it's the tutorial element, basically.
Yeah.
And he's going, right, hide in that little shadow. There's someone come in, grab that plastic bag, wait for him to walk past.
Yeah, it was a bag, wasn't it?
Yeah, and this guy walks past, you have to put a plastic bag on his head, and then it's like, press triangle to hit his head against your knee.
Yeah.
And I'm choking this guy with a plastic bag, hitting his head against my knee. And then it's like, well done, gold star. And I was like, I don't want to play this game anymore. Not on Christmas Day. I don't think I did play anymore.
No, I never completed it, but I remember there was a system in it where like you would hold the button down for longer and you'd get more gruesome, but also the longer you held it down for, the more chance you'd get caught. So like you'd if you held you'd get really graphic and bad.
Right.
But what's the question? Films.
Oh yeah, so I can't think of a film I regret watching, but I regret playing that game because that fucked my head up.
Have you ever seen Antichrist? That's a film I regret watching.
No.
Like first scene, you see Willem Dafoe's like hard, like fully erect penis.
Really?
In the first scene, yeah.
Oh, I didn't think they could put that on films.
Yeah, it was in cinema and like special showings.
Oh, nice.
I went to watch it because like, a film called Antichrist, horror film. It wasn't a horror film, and a baby dies straight away.
You wanted to see the boner.
And then they go into the woods and they just gradually go insane, Willem Dafoe and his wife, and then they just do horrible things to each other. And I was watching it like, this is really funny.
I want to go home.
Yeah, it was just me. I can't remember who I went to watch it with. Me, one other person, and then just one guy by himself in the cinema watching it. It was just three of us sat there like, this isn't very good. There's some really, really graphic, gross scenes in it, and I regret watching that as well.
There we have it.
Trying to think of anything else I regret. Regret anything else I regret?
Anything you regret in your life?
No, I think that's about it. Too similar, just gross for the sake of gross.
Well, I think I mentioned it on one of the other ones, the It films when I was a kid. They fucked me up for ages. So that if I have to submit an answer.
Well, like I said, like I was watching a horror film the other day, The Conjuring 2.
Oh yeah,
and it's good.
I like the Conjuring films. The first one was really good. The second one was okay.
CGI isn't scary. Like that's my one criticism is CGI will never be scary. So cut that shit out. And also like really over the
cut that shit out. Stop doing that, guys. Hollywood, if you're listening, stop.
Oh, what was I was talking to somebody the other day about horror films, and I was saying like I'm a big fan of horror films, but I don't really like zombie films. I don't really like films like gory films, just because I don't find them scary. What I find creepy, and then they were like, what are your two favourite horror films? And I was like, The Others and The Sixth Sense.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, so your favourite horror films are ones where the main people turn out to be the ghosts. I was just like, yeah, true. I was just like, I like the twist that the person is the ghost.
The psychological ones were always the best. Did you ever see, it was a film called Room 1408, and it was John Cusack. Yeah. That film's amazing, it's a great film. It's so like dark and twisted, but it's not like needlessly gruesome. Yeah. It's just like it's basically John Cusack in a hotel. He's a horror writer, but he goes to hotels and places that are apparently haunted, and then writes a little review or a book, and then every few years he writes a book, and he was famous, but then he's not really that famous anymore.
A bit like John Cusack.
There we go. And he gets invited to this hotel room, and he insists on staying in room 1408. And Sam Jackson's the hotel owner, nice. Obviously, but he nails it. He's really good. And he's like adamant that John Cusack can't stay in the hotel room because there's been like murders and deaths and suicides in there. And John Cusack thinks he's just building up the like the sort of the
drama.
The drama, the legend, so to say. So he stays in this room and basically has a mental breakdown and like nearly kills himself, and he's fighting this kind of. There's no actual kind of like demon or ghost or anything. It's just this kind of this presence of just psychological
they're the best
pressure.
ones.
Yeah, and that's really good. It's really good. Fuck me. It's great, and I've watched it a few times, and it's still very tense and very scary and enjoyable to watch. I watched the Purge, the new Purge film in the cinema with my niece the other day.
Well, what are they on now?
Like 4, maybe.
I feel like The Purge. I've never watched one, but I feel like it's a very good idea done not as well as it could be done.
That's exactly what it is. Because you'd say the premise, or when I was told the premise, you go, "Oh, that could be crazy! You could have such an amazing film out of that." But the reality is not that great.
Like the first one's all based in a house, isn't it?
Yeah,
it's like what a waste.
Yeah. Well, that was my logic. And to be fair, up until this one, they've all been a little bit like that.
Yeah.
You know, you want to see this kind of this purge on a city or national or global scale. Well, no, it's only a country. It's only that country that does it, but on a big scale. But they always just focus on like one family or two people, and you're like, I want to see what's going on the streets. So the new one, to be fair to it, they do show like a big cityscape of it, like happening, and it's called the first Purge. So it's like back when it was like they just did it on like Staten Island or Manhattan Island or somewhere.
Okay,
so
cool.
So that element is quite good because people not know what to expect. And so some people are just having like parties and that. They're like, yeah, this fucking weird experiment that the government are doing, we're not taking it seriously.
Yeah.
So I enjoyed that because I've had exactly that same thinking, that what a waste.
Yeah,
you know, to just focus on one family when you've got this massive countrywide thing.
Yeah. I would say like the Rick and Morty episode is the best Purge film.
Yeah, but the new one, it focuses so much on like race and
political
stuff like that. Yeah, and I'm like, oh, I don't want to get involved in that. And obviously it's cheesy and cheap and shit. But there's some really good violence and some really good like slow-mo shooting and
nice.
And there's a little bit of that sort of close combat fighting that they do in some of the new James Bond films. I like that hand-on-hand, Jason Bourne stuff. There's a scene where the main guy has a fight in a corridor with like 3 guys, and that was really good. That was like any other quality action film, like Jason Bourne or James Bond. I don't regret watching that film, but I'm not going to watch it again.
The other film that I definitely don't regret watching is The Raid. Have you seen The Raid?
Oh, amazing! Because that film is literally entirely like that. Really.
Yeah. And then at the end, it's like, what is it, Taiwanese or something?
Korean? I don't know.
And then at the end, it's like directed by Gareth Edwards, so some Welsh guy.
It's amazing, that film.
Yeah.
But a lot of Daredevil, that the show, they do a load of that stuff, and that one scene, right, where he's fighting. Have you seen
the corridor scene?
Yeah.
That's my favourite.
Are they
scene.
the Hells Angels, or they're like a biker gang or something?
Which one? There's the one in the first scene where he fights the human traffickers all in one hallway.
Oh,
he's trying to get to the door at the end.
That's right.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
Then in the second series is like that, but like amped up.
Yeah, they did it for like 10 times as long. And they go down 4 corridors.
Yeah, they go down the stairs and stuff. Yeah.
It's like shot in one entire shot, and it's so like realistic to the point where he's like out of breath and he's like coughing and he's like really struggling, and then waves of people keep coming and he keeps having to like break their arms and legs and that.
What happened to Daredevil? That's kind of...
I don't know, I might go back and watch it actually.
They did Luke Cage and that's not very good. They did Iron Fist, which was terrible, and Laura liked Jessica Jones, but it was one of those ones she watched it all without me, and I'm like, I'm not going to go back and watch it again.
I watched Jessica Jones, it was alright. It was very like, oh, we get it, you're a hard journalist, alcoholic.
But yeah, like there's the fight scenes you want to watch, isn't it? It's not the... Like I said, Daredevil's really good, but Foggy, his mate, is the worst character ever.
I like Foggy.
No, he's the worst. He can't act. He just looks daft.
Yeah.
And he's just, no one cares. He has like the side
Comic
story,
relief.
and it's like, why are you focusing on his side story? It's like, fuck off.
Show me more fighting.
Yeah, get Punisher back.
Oh, I
that
love
wasn't
Punisher.
that great either. The Punisher standalone series. Again, they contained it all, didn't they? They had him in that like cell with that bloke for ages. And it's been like,
I love the Punisher as a character though.
yeah, he's great. In Daredevil series 2, it's amazing.
Yeah.
Cool. So next question.
Right, okay, this might need a little bit of explaining before you answer it, but what crappy tips would be in life's loading screens?
Right, so when you're playing a
During
video
loading
game, if you're playing like a video game or something, during the loading screen, it'll give you like a little tip for the game. Like, it'll be like, Manhunt will be like, stab the man. Or, I don't know, doing that sort of thing, it'd be like a little... help.
Well, it gives you tips.
Yeah, tips. Little tips
on how to play the game, or the best way to
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Little hints.
So the question being, what in...
Crappy ones would be in life's loading screen. Take out payday loans.
Yeah, smoke.
Yeah.
Take out payday. I tell you what, a good one that would be, although I'm a firm believer in support your local football team, I kind of wish I followed a successful football team that won trophies. I mean, like, I'm always having a go at people. I'm like, oh, you live in South Wales, you support fucking Chelsea or Man United, yeah, boring. But also I'm like jealous because I'm like, oh, I wish I was contending for the Premier League title.
Well, see, I support a football team that I'm not from the area from, and they don't win anything.
Yeah.
But like, I'm a Tottenham fan, and it's not something I chose. It was kind of thrust upon me as a child, and I could have swapped allegiances. I had plenty of chances to change allegiances, but I thought, I'm there now, and it's been good.
No, and to be fair, you always contend for like most goals scored in a calendar year.
most players in the World Cup semi-final.
Yeah,
that was a class
there's a trophy.
There's so many of them. It's brilliant.
Yeah.
Most goals at the World Cup as well.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
What, top Spurs players?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so, because Harry Kane scored 6.
Yeah.
So I kind of done it. Yeah. Don't support Tottenham.
Yeah.
Crappy tips. Don't know.
What's funny is everyone I know, and this happens like way too often. I don't know why. I suppose it's just the people that well, not even that. It's older people that are always telling it to me. Don't get married, don't have children. The amount of times people say that to me.
Really?
Yeah, loads. And I'm just like,
Who?
a guy I work with, the national accounts manager.
Is he married with children?
Yeah, it's always people that are married with children.
Yeah, true.
But like, I was like, so what are you up to this weekend? And he went, oh, my kid is... He's like, my kid's kind of maturing from kind of primary school to secondary school, so he's kind of...
They're weird kids, those ends are.
Yeah, well, he was like, so I've kind of got to mature his room up a bit, but he's kind of in that middle ground of not a teenager, but not a child, and he's like, oh, so I've got to work all that out, and that's going to be a headache and a ball ache. He was like, what about you? I was like, I'm going to go to the pub, and I'm going to go for bike rides with my mates, and, you know, fuck around. And he's like, that sounds way better. And then he's like, don't get married, don't have kids. I tell you, the person says it to me all the time. It's my dad. Literally, whenever I see him, he just goes to me, don't have kids, Joe. It fucked up my life. And I'm like, I'm one of your kids. Like, you can't say that.
That's class.
And he's
That's
like, no, just don't do it.
Don't.
Yeah, just like, were you thinking about doing it? Because don't. I'm like, oh... I wasn't, but okay.
Well, I'm married and I don't have kids, and it's all right so far.
Yeah, okay.
No dramas.
I appreciate seeing the other side, hearing the other side.
Yeah, but I was in a family barbecue yesterday, and my wife's cousins were there with their 2-year-old, and he's all right. Yeah. He's listen, I didn't like any 2-year-old, just running around like a nutter all day. But it's good because you'd be like, kid, funny in that, and then go away now.
Yeah, I'm done.
You don't have to come home with me.
Well, that's it. That's my experience with, family, kids, nieces and nephews and whatever. It's like, we have a laugh for a couple of hours, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going now. I'm going to the pub to meet my friends to do other stuff, whereas their parents then take them home and wash them and put them to bed and battle with them and clean up their stick and all that other stuff. And I'm like, that's the side you don't see.
Yeah. Well, I have 2 dogs, and it's a lot of responsibility.
Yeah.
It's obviously not the same as having a child.
Yeah, it's the same. I love it when people compare.
Dogs to kids. And it's literally just like... I mean, one thing I would say is that, like, if I had a kid, and, like, sometimes I can hear my dog doing something downstairs, I'm like, oh, fuck, what's he doing? And, like, I'm not going to go downstairs to find my kid running around eating soap. Well, he might.
That's exactly what you'll find.
Yeah, true. But also, I could catch a kid. Like, my dog, when he
way faster.
When he pinches something and he's running off, I have no chance.
I've tried catching your dog once, and he fucking bossed me for about 45 minutes, then I got annoyed and tired and gave up.
But then also, if I want to go to the pub, I just leave them.
Yeah.
It's fine.
You're fine,
just put the radio on, and they think someone's there, so
and
it's
at the very
fine.
least, if your dog dies, when you're at the pub, the police aren't going to turn up.
No, true.
And arrest you. But if you're at the
exactly,
pub while your child dies, you're going to get in trouble.
That's true. Yeah. Less responsibility then.
Yeah.
Overall,
a little bit.
That's a fact.
So a shitty life tip would be have loads of kids.
Have loads of kids.
Yeah. Smoke. Take out payday loans.
Take payday loans out in your kids' names.
Oh,
that'd be a good one.
Yeah.
That's about it. Next question.
Okay, what is the craziest conversation you have overheard?
Overheard? I don't know. What's yours, Joe? You said one earlier.
Oh, yeah, I was saying I had these group of teenage girls. Well, I don't know, teenage. They were probably only like 12 or 13 or something. So teenage. And one of them said, I overheard her say, I need to figure out my emotions before I deal with him, or before this happens. And I was just kind of like, fucking hell, like, just chill. What are you getting so worked up for? Wasn't particularly funny, but it was just odd. And I just felt like this girl had more drama in her life than I did. And I'm nearly 30, and I'm sort of working a bank. Like, I should have stresses in my life, but I don't. I was cycling around drinking cider in the park.
I'm sure there's loads. I can't really think of any right now, but I want to like cider. Well, I do like cider, but I just can't drink it.
Oh, I bought a 4-pack of Sainsbury's 5% dry cider, 440ml cans, £2.15.
Oh,
yeah,
that's not bad.
They didn't taste great, but you drink 4 of them, you know, you're feeling good.
I like the drier ciders. I do. Like
this was a dry cider.
Yeah. Like Aspel's is a nice one.
Oh, I love Aspel's.
Again, like 1 or 2, and I couldn't drink it all night.
Well, what you want to do is you can get some really nice ciders at like 7, 8, 9%.
Yeah.
Just drink 2 of them and you're good.
Yeah, and I do like Rattler.
Oh,
That's a
yeah,
very nice
yeah.
one. I remember we used to
I
drink...
had a Rattler yesterday.
Oh, nice.
Cider.
We used to drink Frosty Jacks when we were younger, didn't we? We used to buy Frosty Jacks and a bottle of squash. White Lightning. And I remember, like, sometimes you drink like half of that. They'd be like 30. It's like wine, isn't it? It's like 13%. And then I remember sometimes you drink it, and like my head wouldn't be drunk, but my body would be drunk, and I'd be walking around just kind of like I couldn't walk straight, but I knew it. I wasn't like pissed. I was just, my body was just all over the shop, and it was horrible.
There was a guy on the train yesterday. There was 3 of them. They were coming down from the valleys down to Cardiff, and they were all sort of like dressed in their shirts, like middle-aged men. And 2 of them were like a bit tipsy, but all right. But one of them was wasted, like he couldn't even fucking stand up. And then when the train stopped, they were already stood waiting at the door, and he was sat just like waiting for the train to stop. Got up, and just all his stuff fell out of his pockets. I don't know. They must have like, literally just had his stuff like tucked in like a tiny little bit into his pocket. So he stood up. His phone, wallet, keys went everywhere, and he like bends over to pick them up, slams into the thing, and I was like, guys, you're not even going to help your mate. And they kept clicking at him to try and like sober him up. They were like clicking in his face, going, "Hey, come on, like we're going into town now." I was like, "He ain't going fucking anywhere." What a fucking mess. There's a good Twitter account or Instagram account of overheard conversations in London or something.
Nice.
That my mate Andy often forwards to me. He lives in London. I think he finds them a lot funnier than I do because they're often relevant to the places in London. And I'm like, I don't really know. Is that typical of Oxford Street or do you know what I mean? I'm like, I don't really get it. Whereas if it was like a conversation overheard in Taftswell, I'd be like, I get it. I know what Taftswell's like. Do you know?
I used to work in a bar, so I used to overhear loads of funny stuff, and it's escaping me right now.
I'm not very good at this podcast.
No, should we move on? Next question. We're just not going to answer that one.
What is something you wish you knew sooner?
Not to take out payday loans.
Yeah.
Yeah, that. I'm trying to think. I bet your boss is like, oh, I wish I didn't get married.
Yeah.
And have kids.
Yeah, he's not my boss, but yeah.
Yeah.
He would love it if he heard you say he was.
Would it?
Yeah, he'd be like, buzzing. Something I wish I knew sooner.
I wish I knew sooner that that like my metabolism runs out. I just didn't spot the fact that I was just gaining weight quite rapidly until it was like, that's it now. But don't know.
I know everything. So
yeah, Joe knows
there's
everything.
nothing-
Rubbish question.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, shit question, Owen.
What's next? Oh no, we can't. We'll come back to it.
Stop swearing at me. I can see you on the camera.
We're filming. Owen is filming us today. Joe keeps swearing at him.
Keep giving him the finger.
Right. Do you want another question? Or?
Yeah, we'll come back to things we wish we knew sooner, later.
Later, yeah. Wish you knew that question was coming sooner.
Yeah.
What?
We did.
Yeah, you knew. What new feature would you like to see on your smartphone?
Oh, we like smartphones.
Oh, I love my smartphone.
I've been wondering for a while what the next big thing's going to be. Like, it's been like what it is now since iPhone 1 was really the first touchscreen. Like, this is how it's done now. I wonder what the next one will be.
I got really excited for, you know, the feature on the iPhone where you can record your screen.
Yeah,
and
that
send
was
little
good.
video.
Yeah.
I got really excited and I thought of loads of different things I would do, but to be honest, all video content that I want to share, I can kind of just share via a link, which obviously uses way less data and time and effort and energy.
Do I use it for?
No.
Showing my mum how to do things on her phone.
Yeah.
That's what it's best for.
Yeah.
She's like, Al, how do I turn this setting off? I'm like, watch.
Send her a little tutorial.
Yeah.
You've done that to me, actually.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah.
That's the best thing for it. But it was really basically invented so people could record each other's Snapchats on it. So that was literally the main reason for it. But Snapchat's gone now, so.
Yeah, I never use Snapchat anymore.
I think they. So I never really used it, but I hear there was an update and everyone went, nah, Instagram.
That is pretty much what happened.
And Instagram kind of just took what it was doing anyway and made it fine. Filters, though.
Yeah, I love a good filter.
I mean, my little sister is 18 and she's gone to Magaluf.
Oh.
And like, my dad is just in bits because he just
Worried,
his
is
little,
he?
yeah, I know, it's so funny because like
Worried.
with us he didn't give a shit.
Well, the boys
Yeah,
throwing ice at hotels.
Yeah, but with
One of the
Charlie he's
boys.
just like, I want to know. But like I follow her on Instagram, and obviously her whole life is on Instagram stories, so she's just having out there having a nice time. I won't tell my dad that.
Yeah, but she's not going to put on Instagram if she's kissing boys
Yeah.
and getting up to no good.
She's 18 now, so she can do whatever she wants
Well, within reason.
within reason. But yeah, it's
Can
funny.
she play Manhunt too?
She can't.
No, it's banned.
Maybe Magaluf.
Oh shit! No laws.
Yeah, no laws. The Purge. What was the question?
A feature on a smartphone.
Oh, yeah.
That we'd like.
There's something new, please. I'm bored now.
Yeah, spice it up, like.
Yeah. Like, I was really close to buying an iPhone X the other day, and it was literally just because I want that portrait mode.
The
photo
camera.
thing,
Yeah, where you
but,
can take portrait
but
photos.
it's also on the big iPhone, isn't it? Like the bigger one than mine.
Oh, the Plus.
Yeah, they also have it on that.
Oh, do
The
they?
same
Yeah, I've got
camera,
it on
yeah.
mine. It does take really good. But
Yeah.
what do you want a portrait of? It literally looks like a professional photo of like a model headshot.
Yeah.
I took a few in the pub and I was like, "How weird is this?" And everyone's like, "Yeah, stop now, Joe.
Yeah, I don't know what I want it for.
Get an X though."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be a new one out soon anyway, so.
Nah.
I don't know, how's it working now? They've kind of, what can they do more? Get rid of the nub on the top, I guess.
Yeah, put a nub on, take a nub off, switch this button to this size.
Yeah. So yeah, just mix it up. Maybe go back to like foldy ones.
They've talked about that. Flip
Like
phones.
bendy ones.
Oh right, no.
But again, it's just kind of like add-ons, isn't it? It's not like anything brand new.
Well, that was one that I've heard about, like what? Yeah, like
Plexiglass.
a sheet of plastic
Yeah,
basically
yeah.
that you can kind of bend and you can like stick it onto stuff, and it's just basically like this flimsy bit of plastic, but at the same time it's got a crystal clear screen.
Yeah, it'd be good if you could like fold it as well. If you wanted to watch on a big screen, you could just fold it out to a tablet and then fold it back down to a phone, or you could put it on a wrist. That'd be good, like a multi one where it's all like foldable, and you could. Yeah, that's it. Foldable technology, please.
Yeah, thanks.
Like have a tablet, a watch, and a phone all in one. That'd be good, wouldn't it? And it's see-through, so it's just like a bit of paper.
Yeah.
Paper.
And it doesn't cost much.
Yeah, free.
Yeah, can you make it affordable? Yeah, free. And hopefully no sweatshops as well.
Yeah, ideally.
Yeah.
But if they can get out next year, then
Yeah, and
No,
ideally
no.
quickly would be good as well.
Yeah. No sweatshops, please. Next question.
Next question is the last question.
Oh.
What is your earliest memory?
My earliest memory is walking into primary school for the first time, and friend of the podcast Manuel was stood there with a toy gun shooting me, and I was like, oh god, he's a bad one.
Future school shooter.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, he's big and scary, and then no, he's like the loveliest guy in the world.
Yeah, he's
So
nice
don't-
world.
First impressions aren't always.
So what that early memory would have been first day of primary school, but like 5 or something?
3, 4,
Yeah,
I don't know.
was it? I don't know.
And then another one of my memories is being in possibly nursery, no, probably primary school. And John from the podcast came, he had to put a basket on his head, and he came running up to me, and he was going, Al, I'm the Terminator, and doing like robot movements and stuff. And I was like, oh, that's class, you're the Terminator.
No.
And then, like, about an hour or so later, we were sat at the desk, and I started cracking up again. So, and John was like, I remember when you were the Terminator? And he was like, no. And he got really offended, he got really, like, thinking, when it told me, I got told off. The teacher was like, don't call him the Terminator. And he was like, hey, call me the Terminator. And then, so John just, like, done me.
No. 2 of your oldest friends, RoboCop and the Terminator.
Yeah. Not earliest memories, just
Yeah.
go for memories.
Memories.
Just good memories.
I remember yesterday I did something. I do remember a good one from when I was a kid. We went up to this stately home near us in Margam.
Biff Gallop.
Margam Park. No.
Oh, nice, Markham Park, yeah.
And my brother was looking in. They had like these big fish ponds dug into the ground. And my brother was looking in there, and I pushed him in. We had like this little rivalry going. I think he had bested me earlier in the day by doing something. So we got to this stately home, little day out, family day out. As soon as we got there, we got to this fish pond. I pushed him in, and he was soaking wet, lost his glasses, and we just had to all leave and go home. Yeah, because he was soaking wet. He could just spend the day with wet shoes and socks and everything on. And even to this day, my parents are like, "Why would you do that?" I was like,
Push it
I don't know,
in.
yeah, just-
Oh, yeah, you get saw an opportunity.
yeah, that was it. I'm an opportunist.
I don't know why that reminded me of something, and it's definitely not my earliest memory, but when I was like 22, we were leaving my mum's house, and I was going to get in my car, and I realised I didn't have my car keys, and then my brother was like, he went and grabbed them, and he walked out the house, he went, "Oh, there you are," he threw them to me, and he completely missed me, and went straight down a drain.
Did you get them back?
Yeah, I lifted the drain hole cover off and stuck my hand down there into like the unknown, into the water, and found them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, unbelievably. But I thought they were just gone. It was my only one as well.
No, you'd have been fucked.
Yeah.
That would have been a nightmare.
Yeah.
I do have another memory. Yeah, it's funny. Some people say they remember stuff from like being like really young, really, really infant stage. I think literally I remember being about like some stuff from like, I don't know, 6 maybe. It's probably as early as my memory goes back. But like to the point where it's only stuff that like other people also remember. So I'm like, am I just remembering their memories?
That's what they say. Yeah, they say like you remember the last time you
story?
remembered it rather than what actually happened.
Yeah.
So like that's how things get lost.
Right, because you just don't revisit it, and then it just
Yeah.
gets deleted from the brain,
Yeah.
from the Matrix.
The hard
Do
drive.
you know what someone was telling me the other day? Was that they've sort of got this technology or something where you can kind of an artificial womb basically where you can grow a child. They would put in a fertilized egg or whatever and just grow it in like this kind of just this sack basically, and you could kind of like watch it grow. And I was like, that's very Matrix, very sci-fi.
That is very sci-fi.
I mean, we were having this conversation. It was about 3 a.m, and I was just like, I believe you 100%. Yeah, this is definitely happening.
Oh, that's mad.
So I hope that's not the case.
I wonder if that would be like in the future. You walk in, it's just kind of like the baby.
Which one do you want?
It's just growing.
Yeah.
Which one do I want?
Which one do you want? You go in. There's a whole row of them. Pick one.
He's go. Yeah, that one's growing.
Yeah. Yeah, I can't remember where we started talking. Oh yeah, because it was funny because some of the people were like, yeah, that's great for people that can't have their own children. And I was like, yeah, but that's always how it starts. And then you end up with people mass farming, armies of slave soldiers, children soldiers, and taking over the world. Oh, that's going to be class.
What's Westworld about? Have you seen that? Is that what that's about?
Yeah. It's not about that at all.
No? Okay.
No.
I watched one episode of the most recent series of Westworld.
That's
my wife
not a
loves
good
it.
idea
And I was watching, I was going, what's this happening? Who's it? She's like, I don't know. I can't explain that. I can't explain that. So I was like,
don't like it.
don't like it.
Yeah, it's no. Basically, they have a theme park.
Yeah.
Where you go and visit, like you would go and visit Alton Towers or whatever. But it's kind of like role play. So you dress like a cowboy, or like something from like the old Wild West days. But they're called hosts, I think. The people that kind of work there are robots.
But they're sentient.
But yeah, well, yeah, they are. Spoiler alert, they are. They become...
Well, I could tell from the episode I watched.
Well, yeah. If you haven't seen series 1 by now, then yeah. But they're like super realistic, and like you can like shoot them and shag them, and I don't know. It gets weird.
Yeah.
But they're living their own lives, and you just come and interact, and they do stories and missions with you. It's a bit like like on like free roam PlayStation games where you can there'll be a guy trying to fix his car, and you can go over and help him and go on a little mission with him. So some people go with their kids, and they meet up with old rancher Jim, and they go on like a horse ride, and they go fishing in the mountains with him, and like really live old school Wild West. And then some guys go on like stag do's, and they just want to drink in the bar and do shoot ups and bang robot prostitutes. But then there's also a big main story. It's not a sub story. that's the story. It's quite good, but it's a bit like
a bit like everything now. There's always a message in it. It's not just a TV show. It's just.
But it's funny you linked Westworld to the question, because the robots are the main beginning of their sentience as they start to become more real life but they start remembering things that have happened to them. So they have their first memories, and that's actually what kind of spurs a lot of them to become sentient. So for example, like one of them, and obviously they revamp their stories, they update it all.
Yeah.
So one of them remembers like a really horrible storyline she was in, but now she's just living a different life, and she's having this really weird like memory flashback,
no way.
and she goes a bit mental, and she eventually escapes the Westworld.
So it's not all digital. Oh, so it's not all digital. It's not like a computer program. It's like a physical thing that you go into. And mess around with.
You walk around and you ride like real horses. Oh no, I think the horses are even robot. I can't remember.
Anthony Hopkins.
Anthony Hopkins, yeah.
Forward out. Yeah.
In the show with you.
Yeah. Was that the end? What was the other question we didn't go back to?
Oh, things we wish we'd known sooner. Not to watch Passion of the Christ?
Yeah, not to watch Passion of the Christ. To watch Westworld.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Put more prep into our podcast?
Yeah, maybe a bit more. Speaking of podcasts, I was listening to Bob Mortimer's podcast the other day, and he has a very good system for TV shows on Netflix. Okay. And he's like, a TV show on Netflix should always start on like at least a 9 or a 10 and maintain it. I mean, they shouldn't
on episode to episode.
Yeah. So like, if you're gonna stick with a series, as soon as it dips, drop it. So
what has to be amazing all the time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Or like you can have like, or gradually get better. Do you mean you can start on a 5 or a 6 and gradually build to a 9 or a 10? But if it drops below, like say 7, just cut it off.
Okay.
I don't watch enough TV to do that. So, do you know what I have been watching? Is Suits. Ever seen Suits?
No, I don't think I've been into it.
No, I've not. Well, Laura's watched it. Like she just binge watches.
Yeah,
everything.
she loves that show.
She just watches. Laura just watches anything. She's pretty much completed Netflix. So like it's Suits now, and there's like 8 series of it. And I catch bits and bobs again. I'm like, who's this? What's happening? But it says people walk around in suits shouting at each other.
Yeah, that's my understanding of it.
But it's a lot less. I thought it was gonna be very like kind of like prep boy kind of like thing, but it's a lot more like serious.
Businessy,
Yeah, it's funny. It's a lot funnier than I thought it was
Is
gonna
it?
be. Like yeah, just that one guy called Harvey, I think his name is. It's just him going from room to room shouting at people.
In a suit.
Yeah, he says, "Get out my sight" loads. It's class. You'd be in someone else's room and he'd be like, "Get out my sight."
Is he not saying "get out my suit"?
Maybe, yeah, maybe.
That should be a twist.
Yeah.
The last words of the last episode.
Yeah. But like I started watching series 5 or something like that, and then one of them was in prison. I was like, "Why is he in prison?" I was like, "I don't know."
Yeah,
like,
give you all the context.
Yeah. So yeah, that's the answer to the question of what I wish I'd known sooner.
Thanks for listening.
Thank you.
Send us questions if you want to hear us.
CommonClaveTheNewWest@gmail.com.
And go on our website.
Yeah, please go on our website. I think you can leave comments on that.
Yeah.
Just CommonClaveTheNewWest.com.
Don't write anything mean.
No, none of that. Very nice website. We'll be back next week. Oh yeah, this is next week. So yeah, we'll be back next week. Have a nice week. Bye.
Bye.
The common clay, the common clay, the common clay of the New West. Morons.
We've upgraded North Wales. We now have a cave and a wire.